Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to Castle Avenue here in Clontarf. This is day 5 of the Evara Tri-Series between Ireland, Pakistan and West Indies. Today, as I say, is game 5. Tomorrow is the final day of the Tri-Series. Ireland will be playing Pakistan. So far in the table, West Indies have 8 points, Ireland have 8 points, Pakistan yet to get off the mark, but they can still win this tournament by winning today and tomorrow. Obviously the weather has been quite changeable today. Ground staff doing their usual sterling work today to try and get this game up and running. Scheduled start time was 4 o'clock. Toss was due to take place at 3:30, but of course with the weather a little bit of a delay in that. The match officials will of course be keeping an eye on the ground and overhead conditions, and we will bring you an update as soon as we are provided with the latest on today's game. Well, as we say, this is game 5 of the Evara Tri-Series. Today we have Pakistan taking on the West Indies.
Well, I would love to tell you that it's a glorious day and we're all set for the start of match number 5 of the Evara Women's T20 International Series. This one is between Pakistan and West Indies, but I can't confirm that, unfortunately. Just behind me, you might be able to see the covers still on at Castle Avenue here in Clontarf. There are some raindrops falling, nothing too heavy at the moment. There is the expectation that there's set to be rain about for a little bit of the afternoon. Disappointingly, we're not going to be able to start in time. The umpires, match officials will be out shortly conducting a few inspections of the outfield. They've been clearing a lot of water off the outfield in recent hours because there has been heavy downpours in patches building up to today's tie. So as things stand, it's not ideal for cricket, and we're certainly not going to be starting on time. But to put you into context of how things are going in the series overall, Pakistan have only played 2 of the 4 matches that they will complete. They will play today and they will play tomorrow if weather allows. West Indies, though, this should be their final match. Intriguingly, though, this is also set to be the 200th international in women's T20s for this West Indies side, a side that made its debut against Ireland back in 2008, might just be in Ireland playing their milestone 200th women's T20 international. That's, again, if it gets underway. So lots of caveats to discuss. There are some hopeful players. Pakistan and West Indies players have been out. The cones are actually laid out already. Players have been wanting to warm up. A few have been out with the football as well. But as things stand, players not able to get out and play. And as I'm speaking to you, rain is starting to come down a little heavier now on me as I stand outside under the fairly overcast and grey skies here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf. There is some sunshine about. Disappointingly, the lack of cloud cover is at the part of the ground where the weather traditionally doesn't come from. The bad news is that there might be a little bit of weather about for some time. Hopefully we still get in some cricket today. Of course, T20 matches constitute a match could be constituted 5 overs a side. Ideally, you don't want to be seeing that for either one of these teams, but we're still hopeful that we can get some play in today. Several hours still before the match will get called. Pakistan West Indies, match number 5 of the Evara Women's T20 International Series is what is happening right now, but we'll bring you updates as and when they occur. For now, no play. Start has been delayed owing to rain. Well, welcome back to what is now a sunny Castle Avenue in Clontarf. It's just about set for match number 5 of the Evara Women's T20 International Series. Today it's West Indies and Pakistan set to do battle, but we got off to a bit of a false start with the toss delayed owing to the weather. The good news is that the sun is shining brightly. Half an hour ago it was getting rained on, but now the sun is gloriously bathing this wonderful ground. And indeed, players from both sides are warming up. The ground staff are hard at work to get the outfield as dry as possible, and indeed the covers are starting to come off layer by layer. The pitch hasn't been exposed yet to the sunshine that is about. There is some wind about as well, and that'll dry the outfield up rather more quickly. But the good news, the players being out and warming up, it seems we're hopeful for some game time in the next little while. But the immediate next steps are first to have the inspection from the umpires. So Johnny Kennedy and Azam Ali Beg will be out at 4:30 local time here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf to do the inspection of the pitch, the grounds, and see whether or not we can get an accurate start time on when this 5th match in the Tri-Series can get underway. Players are hopeful of some game time. They are warming up very enthusiastically. A lot of smiles about as well. West Indies looking for a victory to secure top spot in the group with one match to play. That'll be between Ireland and Pakistan on the final day. That'll be match number 6 of the series. So cover's not completely off, but the good news is the ground staff hard at work to get as much of the outfield dry as possible. The umpires will be out in a matter of minutes for a grounds inspection, and indeed the players look very hopeful of a game actually happening today. So I hope to bring you in a short while some positive news about the coin toss and the start of this match number 5 of the Evara Women's T20 International Series. But for now, we stay with breaks until the umpire's inspection is done. And that's at 4:30 local time. Delighted to be with you here as we bring you match number 5 of the Evara T20 International Women's Series. This is between Pakistan and West Indies. It'll be a final match of the Tri-Series for West Indies. It'll be the third match of the series for Pakistan. They've got 2 remaining, one against the hosts Ireland in their final match as well. Here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf, I'm delighted to be joined by Julia Price, a multiple World Cup winner, and indeed Isabel Joyce, long-time captain of Ireland. Isabel, let me start with you. Rain delay, weather delay ahead of the toss. You're as familiar as any with weather in Ireland and cricketing terms. Are we looking at a full game of cricket here today?
Yeah, good question, because it's been coming in very quickly and then leaving very quickly. What Del McDonough, the curator, has said is that it'll be difficult to cover it now because it's so blustery, so it'll take a while to get the covers on. The pitch is going to get wet as we just get a shower now.
On cue.
So it could be difficult for both teams, I think. And they were talking about it at the toss as well. They are out in the middle. They were talking about how cold they are and how tough they're finding it.
Julia, let's talk about West Indies. What have you liked from what you've seen from West Indies in their first 3 matches here?
Yeah, I think they've been very, very aggressive. The fact that they've only won 2 games out of their previous 12 before coming here and then got back-to-back, I think the fact that they look like they're enjoying their cricket. They look a lot fitter, and I think that's another big key. They've been good in the field. They've been running around. Just their energy levels are up, and they look like a team that actually wants to be here, despite it being a little bit colder. And I like the fact that they're changing their team around and have for the first 3 games quite a lot. So the entire squad have all had an opportunity to have some batting time in the middle, some bowling time in the middle, and it seems like a very united group.
In terms of Pakistan, what have you assessed from what you've seen in the first 2 matches?
Well, I think they're struggling with seam. That's clear to see from the figures that they've been able to produce. Their captain, Fatma Sana, hasn't probably fired how they'd want coming into a World Cup. That being said, Pakistan's strength is usually their spin. I think they've looked good in general. I do think they're lacking performance at the top order with the bat in particular. They seem to be able to find performances from the middle order, but not so much at the top. So there are bits and pieces that are looking okay. They very much need a team performance, and I do think their fielding has improved since we saw them here last year. So that's a definite plus in just 9 months turnaround.
Fair. Let's talk about the fielding though. Across all 3 teams that have played here, maybe you'd like to see a higher percentage of catches taken?
Yeah, it has been a bit unusual. I'm not sure if it's because of the sky being a little overcast and a little grey, and that's no exception for today. There's pretty strong breezes as well, so it has been a little hard to judge some of the catches. So we'll maybe give them a little bit of a break. But I think really it was mainly only one of the games that probably just sort of let both teams down, and that was including Ireland in that game. But yeah, generally I think the fielding standard has been pretty high.
I actually want to jump in there because today's going to be the worst day of all. It's so blustery, it's so windy. So if we're going to see drop catches, it's probably today.
Well, let's not jinx anybody out in the field. We certainly hope it's going to be all clean from everybody for the remainder of the series. A moment ago, though, Julia Price was out for the pitch inspection, and Isabel Joyce was standing by alongside the captains for the toss.
Well, a good few times today we weren't sure would we get a toss in this 5th match of the Evara Women's International Tri-Series, but the weather has cleared and we're out here in the middle for the toss. And with me are the 2 captains from Pakistan, as always, Fatma Sana Khan, and we have a new captain for West Indies. Chanel Henry makes her debut as the leader of her side, and Graham McRae is out here as well, match referee. So Fatma, please take it away.
Tails.
Tails the call.
You look nice. We're going to have a ball.
Okay, I'll just reiterate, Chanel, you've won your first toss, first of all, well done, and you're going to have a ball. Can you tell us why?
Obviously, with the weather around, we just thought it was a pretty good idea to, get bowling, make use of the conditions, obviously try to see if the ball's doing a bit much up front. So I guess that really was just the decision behind that today.
Your first time captaining West Indies, how excited are you for the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having been vice captain, obviously stepping in for Haley today, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to get the first time out leading the team, so I'm looking forward to that.
What about this weather that we're treating you here to in Ireland? We've had the warm weather, now we're giving you a bit of the cold weather. Just make sure you're fully ready for that World Cup in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, it's pretty good because obviously heading over to England, we're not sure exactly what's going to happen in England either. So I think this is a really good, situation for us to be in. So obviously when we get over to the World Cup, we're ready to go.
Finally, going to put you under pressure. I know you guys this tournament, you've been liking to mix things up. What is the team looking like today?
We have 4 changes. Myself, myself, Mandy Mangaroo, Ashmini Munisar, and I forget the other one.
We'll find out the other one when we get the toss. Finally, just last question, I suppose. Mandy taking the gloves?
Yeah, obviously we've seen her a few times, in the series before, and obviously one in this series being behind the stump, and she was pretty good. So it's just another opportunity for us to go out today and continue doing that.
Great. Well, best of luck and your first game as captain.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chanel. Fatma, if you'd won the toss, what would you have done?
I think if we won the toss, we're gonna bowl first.
Okay. So, well, the weather around, it's understandable. Just firstly on yourself, the last game we saw you were looking uncomfortable with an injury, but everything looking okay?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, all good.
Okay. It's an important game for you guys to get some points on the board. How are you going to go about that today?
We just try to play a good cricket here because the weather is almost rainy or so we just try to play a normal cricket here.
Any changes to your team?
Yeah, we have 2 changes. Iram and Danny is out, and Iman and Tuba is come.
Okay, well, best of luck, and hopefully no more injuries before that World Cup. That's Pakistan's captain Fatma Sana-Khan. So West Indies have won the toss. They're going to bowl first.
Well, with the delayed start, we've obviously got a fair bit of rain around at the moment, but we've got a new pitch as well today. It's 17 degrees at the moment. It feels like about 13, but the new pitch just means that we've got to have a round field now, equal boundaries all the way around, but a really strong wind from the southwesterly. So potentially there's going to be a lot of players targeting that end towards the clubhouse and see how many runs they can get. Because of the rain, not surprising at all that they've decided to have a bowl first as well. This pitch is going to hold a little bit. We've found that previously. We had been playing on pitch 5. It had been holding early in the game and presenting a lot better as the game went on, averaging around 172 with the bat once people sort of had a little bit of patience and held their nerve. But bowlers on this are going to get a bit of advantage to start with, and we're going to see what's going to happen in just a few minutes.
So West Indies winning the toss. They're going to be bowling first in this 5th match of the Evara Women's T20 International Series here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf. Quick reactions then. Julia, looking at West Indies, they have said they wanted to rotate their squad to give as many players an opportunity ahead of the World Cup. So 4 changes today for them.
Yeah, a lot of changes for them. It'll be interesting with the bat. Obviously, they're missing quite a few. Stefani Taylor, Hayley Matthews, Claxton. They've all been getting some decent runs for the West Indies. But fortunately, they've got the ball first. Chanel Henry captain. Not surprising if bowling captain wants to bowl first. But I think the conditions will suit. Zayda James as well opening it. But they're going to have to find a few other ways to get some wickets today as well.
A couple of interesting changes for Pakistan as well, bringing in a leg spinner and a batter.
Yeah, well, good to see Tuba Hassan. She was an exciting youngster a few years ago. Probably hasn't had the form she would have wanted, but an opportunity for her in place of Diana Baig, who struggled with the ball. And then good to see the youngster whose name has left me.
Ayman Fatima.
Ayman Fatima goes in for Iram Javed, who didn't really have that much of an opportunity, but good to see them passing the opportunities around.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it for now. We're going to head into commentary because the game is just about set to get underway. Match number 5. The West Indies won the toss. They have elected to bowl. Despite the fact that we're starting 70 minutes late here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf, I can tell you that we are still set to get in a full complement of overs for both sides. Enjoy match number 5, Pakistan against West Indies. So, just about set for the first ball here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf. It's West Indies having won the toss. They've opted to bowl. And they've got an interesting lineup that has seen Hayley Matthews, Jazara Claxton, Stefani Taylor and Shawnisha Hector rested for today's tie. There was the little incident with Stefani Taylor, who needed to retire hurt while batting and left Castle Avenue in Clontarf with her right arm in a sling. And hopefully nothing too serious ahead of the ICC World T20 or the World Cup on us. Zayda James is going to be opening bowling for this West Indies side. Left arm bowler who she bowls slowly, but is not an orthodox spinner. Muniba Ali will be facing the first ball. She opens with Gul Firoza for this Pakistan side. Now we're all set for ball number 1. Zayda James to Muniba Ali. Chanel Henry looked like she had lost her cap in the wind. Slightly blustery conditions. She's back now for the first ball. Just a little dab at it from Ali Siddiqui as Isabel Joyce joins alongside for the first stint of this Evara Women's T20 International Tri-Series. Match number 5, Pakistan-West Indies here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf. Starting from the city end as well today, Isabel. We are towards it. We are going to discuss weather as the match continues. This is Ireland, this is cricket time, but it's great to see that the full complement of voters is still set to be played today, despite the 70-minute delay to the start.
Well, we've got plenty of practice, don't we, in preparing pitches when there's weather around.
Let's cut away. It'll be the infield. It's almost between two fielders. And that's the first runs of the game. It's 4 runs to Munib Ali.
Yeah, nice footwork, wasn't it? And she intentionally got underneath the ball here. 2 fielders operating, flayed away, and got it over that inner circle for the first boundary. First runs. A change and end from Zayda James.
I get underneath this one. It's a caught and bowled, and the 4 followed up by a wicket. Zayda James strikes at her first over, having just conceded the first runs of the game, and Munib Ali, one of the big names in the batting lineup for Pakistan, is gone. Just 4 balls into the innings. Pakistan 4 for 1.
Well, this is not a good option when you're a left-hander with a left armer swinging it away from you. You really need it to be much straighter than that to play a pull shot. Siddiqui pays with her wicket, 4 from 4 for her, and early blood drawn. Pakistan 4 for 1. It just seemed to hang in the air forever, that delivery. The swing did for Munib Ali Siddiqui. Change and end, I was going to say, is it's clear that Zayda James is changing ends because of that wind across the ground. It will help her swing away from the left-hander, and it had certainly helped her on that occasion. The line was outside off and just kept leaving Siddiqui. She could have just played the same shot again, pretty much, that she got the 4 from.
So Aisha Zafar makes her way out to join Gul Firoza, who's yet to face a delivery in this 5th match. It's the final match of the series for West Indies, who today play their historic milestone 200th Women's T20 International. They began against Ireland, their first ever, in 2008. And on Irish soil, they play their milestone 200th. Got a very good relationship with Ireland. Zayda James. Oh, that's darted in a little there from Zayda James. A little flatter, a little quicker, push through.
It can be tough to judge length when you've got a bowler as short. Level, there will be opportunities for you. Keeps everyone hungry, keeps the players that are the incumbents hungry as well. They can't rest on their laurels. For the captain, Chanel Henry, she was had all smiles out in the middle. An exciting day for her. Always is exciting to lead your country.
Full bat behind that from Gul Firoza. First delivery she's faced this innings. She has happy memories of Pakistan just a handful of days ago. Pakistan defeated by West Indies. She was player of the match as she chipped in with effectively a 200 strike rate, 33 off 17, and took 2 for 13 as well to be named player of the match. Short, pulled away. There's a big chase out on the boundary that's only just reeled in. That's some wonderful work, genuine pace around the rope. Gulfirosa off the mark with a couple. She pulled it just in front of square.
Very strong into the leg side. That's her strongest area. Gulfirosa, full or short, she'll take you leg side. It's that good length she struggles.
And this time, that's going to work its way. It's slightly damped the outfield, but still quick enough to see that ball reach the boundary rope before the fielders get a chance to reel it in. Zeta James quick across the turf, but not quick enough to keep that in. Gulfirosa has her second scoring shot of the inning. Sarah Jabin marching out to the middle. She's had a decent time of things, bat in hand. She scored a couple of quick-fire runs, both against West Indies and Pakistan. She'll be looking to add to that here. So a few technical errors, but we seem to be all back online. Sarah Jabin has made her way to the middle to join Aisha Zafar as James into her second continues from the city end. A little too straight, worked away just for the single. Aisha Zafar was not interested in the second. So Jabin got down so quickly to the other end. Yeah, how many times you bat with those kind of batters who are pushing for two even when there's only one in it?
Yeah, you're almost saying settle down. Come on, there's two fielders out in the deep. One of them is Deandra Dotton, who's just run in as well, so that doesn't really encourage the second run.
That's taken an outside edge, and that'll race away. Another boundary. The scoring rate is fine for Pakistan. It's the fact that they've lost wickets in consecutive overs to start.
This is a good option. No third, no slip. Keeper up to the stumps. Flash hard, and you can pretty much bet you're going to get it past the keeper, and it's very quick down that end. Brilliant anticipation there from Shemaine Campbell, who's in the field. No surprise, the keepers generally field pretty well.
This one nicely taken as well from Mangru. Wide ball down leg. Just enough on it to...
So all you had to do was beat that fielder in 45, but didn't manage it.
Keeps it low, heading towards the... heading towards where some of the wind is coming from. End of 3, Pakistan 25 for 2.
This is well picked up. The swing obviously coming in to the both right-handers now, and well, could the dive have been put in there? I think the wet outfield, it's cold conditions. West Indies not looking quite as keen to dive around as we would have seen earlier in the tournament, but perhaps I'm being a little unfair. It's cold. I don't think either team thought they were going to get a game in, truth be told, a couple of hours ago. And credit goes to the ground staff here, who've been working tirelessly to dry things up and get the teams on. And the pitch looks really good. The worry now is if and when the rain comes. It's not really if, it's when the rain comes. How quickly can they get the covers back on to keep the surface dry? There they are, the ground staff. Dale McDonough reading messages, talking about how great he's done to get this game on.
It's got to say somebody's sending him messages to say Isabel Joyce has just mentioned him in commentary twice.
Yeah, and hopefully they're saying it's good things.
Chanel Henry into second.
That's the place to be. It looks nice and sunny there.
It does, but that's what the wind is smacking you right in the face where you're sitting there as well. Little tickle on that. Again, Kiana Joseph, she's very quickly down onto it. Henry just going over in her follow-through, it seems. But Kiana Joseph ran around that ball, just enough time to do that, to pick it up with her strongest hand, her left hand, and release. Came off the pads, just leg by.
She is a good judge, isn't she? She knows when she can attack and when she has to run around a ball, Kiana Joseph. Chanel Henry's run-up has not looked comfortable since she came out. The first over, she almost, it was like she had a step too few in her run-up. Not approaching as smoothly as we would have seen in that Player of the Match performance when she took 2 for 13.
Oh, a little bit of action on that. Catches the outside half of the bat. Alia Lane.
I think what's impressed me about Chanel Henry on this tour in particular is that she's recognised the different conditions here in Ireland and England. You swing the ball a lot more than in other parts of the world, and she's bowling a lot fuller than you'd usually see her, allowing the ball to swing.
Offed it over the infield. Again, plenty of work being done on the boundary rope. Shemaine Campbell. It's very interesting to see Shemaine Campbell without gloves on. West Indies' most capped T20 international player.
Yeah, I think she spent a lot of time early in her career fielding, actually, instead of keeping. And with it's Jazara Claxton, who was out there the rest of the series so far. She's been replaced by another athletic outfielder.
Oh, that one was shaping back in. It's a big appeal, but I think maybe, just maybe, not quite shaping it enough. Maybe some bat as well. Azam Ali Beg, uninterested.
Well, if there wasn't bat involved, I think as a bowler, you're not happy. Because that was full and it was on leg and middle and it wasn't missing off. So
Starts so wide before comes back in, but yeah, that's a... Ooh, that is close. Keeper stayed straight for it. Top edge. He's going to make it around. Afi Fletcher takes another catch. And Pakistan are in trouble. Sarah Jabin goes for 7. And Henry has her second of this game.
It's just never a great option going against the swing there, is it? She missed out in the LBW, the previous delivery, but Jabin looks to go across the line yet again, gets the, well, do you call it a leading edge, a top edge? I'm not sure. 7 from 8 for Jabin. And inside the power play, Pakistan in trouble. 29 for 3 after 4.
Second batter to be dismissed. Caught Fletcher, bowled Henry after Gul Firoza. Looking to just simply roll the hands over. And sometimes it looks like it might have actually come off the back of the bat. Just rolled her hands over it so much it might have actually caught the back end of the bat and come up off the ridge. Fairly comfortable for Fletcher. Went relatively high.
Yeah, I thought she did well. She kept the feet moving. It's important in those situations to just keep taking little steps as the ball is swirling around. So Afi Fletcher did excellently well. But I think you're right. We couldn't quite tell from that angle, but it looked like the ball was going down leg from Henry. And then Jabin looked to tuck it rather than just smack it leg side. She'll be watching it back and thinking, why didn't I just kind of sweep it or something on line?
So Ramim Shamim next to the crease now for Pakistan. 30-year-old brings a great deal of experience. Aliyah Lane into the attack, replacing Zaida James. Not quite express, but brings it through fairly quickly, Aliyah Lane. She's among the West Indies women's bowlers who's worked with some of the West Indies men's bowlers over the years. Chanel Henry as well. I think Corrie Collymore was somebody who's had a big influence on her bowling in particular. Lane. She's been one of the standouts for Barbados Royals as they've won the last 3 women's Caribbean Premier League titles. She actually hit the winning runs at last year's final. Rocking onto the back foot, just worked away. Deandra Dotton out on the rope, just the one.
Yeah, she was one of the standouts for West Indies in that first ICC Women's Under-19 World Cups. Herself and Ashmini Munasar, who we've only seen once in this series. Janelia Glasgow was there as well, although she was a bowler, not really a batter then. We haven't seen her with ball in hand, but the batting certainly improved. But yeah, Elaine was very much the standout seam bowler for West Indies at that World Cup a couple of editions ago.
Worked away and through for the single here. And she's also among those who've represented Barbados internationally. She, Hayley Matthews, have often represented Barbados in various competitions. Certainly the Commonwealth Games, for example, they play as... There's always a West Indian team. It was Barbados in 2022. They played against Pakistan. They beat Pakistan that day as well. A little bit of a chase on here. Dotton comes around so quickly. Not the cleanest of pickups, but still sweeping run onto it. Rips it in nicely. Pakistan still going along at a healthy enough run rate. It's the wickets column, having lost 3 wickets in under 5 overs, puts you under immeasurable pressure.
It's funny when you're playing these tournaments or a series in the lead up to a World Cup. It's all about preparation and getting ready for the World Cup. And you talk about the players who are coming into form at the right time, the likes of Hayley Matthews has scored runs, and Kiana Joseph has bowled well. Chanel Henry, who's captaining today, among others. But You don't really talk about the players who maybe are underperforming, and it's almost doing the opposite for them in terms of getting them ready, because confidence is going down. And I mean, when I'm looking along this Pakistan lineup, bowling-wise in particular, Sadia Iqbal must be a little bit worried. She's a big player for them at the World Cup. Hasn't taken a wicket so far. She's gone for 33 in both the games that she's played. So today's a big game for her, and good conditions for her as well. Great opening over from Elaine.
Yeah, 5 overs gone. Pakistan 33 for 3. It's a batting card. Only one batter in double figures, and that's Gul Firoza. Colt Fletcher bowled Henry. One of 2 batters to be dismissed in that way. The other side of Jabin. 7 off 8. Munib Ali struck a 4. Caught and bowled next delivery. Aisha Zafar and Ramim Shamin, the 2 batters in currently. Alia Ria has also been short on runs, but Ayman Fatima gets a chance to play today. And her last innings was an absolute perler. 79 not out against Zimbabwe, one of the highest totals for a Pakistan batter in women's T20 internationals. So we're going to see a change in bowling as well from the LP Hughes end. Karishma Ramarak is going to make her way into the attack. Karishma Ramarak from Trinidad and Tobago, but stand-up player for Guyana Amazon Warriors. Right on the money, first ball to Ramim Shamin.
She was rather hit around, wasn't she, in the last game by Orla Prendergast? That was kind of the turning point in the game. She gets a little bit of extra bounce, possibly a little bit too full to go on the back foot for from Ramin. Kind of the 2 similar bowlers there, one batting and one bowling, but Ramin is reminiscent of Ramarak, the way she bowls.
That's very nicely played. Nobody back quite so fine. Dotton's there quickly enough though. Whips the ball in. So we'll scramble through for 2. First runs off Ramarak. Yeah, she bowled nicely in the first match against Ireland, the 1 for 16 Ramarak, but as you say, did take a little stick against Orla Prendergast in the second.
Well, that point, up until that point, the game was in the balance, and then it was just Orla Prendergast came up with a plan and just went bang, 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 and all of a sudden Ireland were kind of favourites. I think as well, West Indies won that toss, decided to bat first. I'm not going to make the same mistake again, obviously, today. Chanel Henry was saying with the rain around, they wanted to bowl first.
Well, yeah, it's 9 of the last 12 teams that have been chasing at this venue have gone on to claim victory. But in the World Cup, you're going to be put into bat. And you need to have those, you've got to have that element of preparation. You're going to be put into bat on certain conditions. You're going to be put into the field in certain conditions by your opposing captain. So I'm not against it in a series like this where you're aiming to prepare in the best possible way ahead of a world event, a global event. That's worked away fine, and that'll scramble all the way through to the boundary rope. Shazafar, second batter into double figures for Pakistan.
The left right-hand combination just doing for Ramarak here. She's straight down the leg side against the left-hander now. She's straight down the leg side against the right-hander. Just not quite getting the lines right. And that's frustrating for an off-spinner because you have them in your team because they generally have control. So what you don't want is that lack of control showing where they can't keep an end tied up when the batters aren't having to actually take anything on.
This one a little wider. Straight to Dotton though, fielding square on the offside. End of 6, end of the power play. Pakistan 40 for 3.
So that's the power play done. 2 overs each for James and Henry. Henry in particular has been incisive. 2 wickets from 13 for her. 1 as well for James, who struck early the big wicket. Munib Ali, Siddiqui and Elaine and Ramarak pretty tight to finish out the power play. So it's probably advantage West Indies, but Pakistan rebuilding. And as we so often see, as soon as the power play is over, Afi Fletcher, the leg spinner for West Indies, comes into the attack. A real attacking bowler for the Caribbean nation, or nations. And as I make that mistake, I'll welcome Julia Price in alongside.
Is that speaking of mistakes?
Floated that first delivery against the left-hander. Understandable. Must feel as a leg spinner bowling over the wicket, you have to just really float it up there to get it across to the offside. Very much showing that on that occasion, Fletcher.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult day to bowl today, and we've already seen Ramarak come in. She's had to come into the power play, doesn't normally bowl in the power play, but did a pretty good job. But yeah, Fletcher resumes her normal position, straight out of the power play, field all the way back.
I know Jazara Claxton, no Shonisa Hector, who we've been seeing as that's smash behind square. The connection's so good, it beats the fielder in backward square. Just a couple of bounces and it skips over the rope for 4.
Yeah, Azafar's very, very strong on the sweep and just got the line and length a little wrong there from Fletcher. See, normally as a leg spinner wanting to try and beat the bat, usually on the front foot. Yeah, that's just money for jam. Very, very easily put over the boundary with 1 bounce.
Goes the sweep again, the shout goes up, and Johnny Kennedy, he didn't have to think about that too long. He got the line right on that occasion, did Afi Fletcher. Zafar, as we've said on a number of occasions today, she went one too many times, and Pakistan, whenever they feel like they're starting to see the boundaries come, they lose another wicket. Very much stalled at every turn.
Yeah, this one didn't quite drift as much as the previous delivery down leg side. It just held its line on the leg stump. Maybe if the leg spinner trying to come back a little bit and straighten. Just have another look at this dismissal. Good bravery. Yeah, really good decision there from the umpire. Absolutely in front. And Zafar was just hoping for another bit of a freebie as they're trying to build on their innings at the moment now. 45 for 4. Just in a little bit of trouble.
Ali Riaz in at number 6, and there's 2 ways of looking at this as a number 6 batter. You think frustration because the batters ahead of you have lost their wickets, some of them somewhat given them away, and you can be frustrated that you're in so early, or Ali Riaz can see it as an opportunity to bat for a lot longer than she was expecting coming in at number 6. I know which way I'd be looking at it if I was walking out, but I hope she's looking at it the other.
Well, she got a good 37 off 28 against the West Indies. But other than that, it's been a little lean in the previous game. Known for a big hitting. Been around for a long time.
It's the short one early on. This has beaten the 45, and well, we talk about it all the time. If you beat the fielder down towards the LP Hughes end, it's almost always 4, and it is on this occasion.
Yeah, it's tough with that breeze coming over her left shoulder. Afi Fletcher does provide a little bit of drift, but she's just fighting at the moment. It's just pushed this one a little bit too far down leg side, dragged it a little bit too short as well. But it's a good end for her to bowl to if she can get a little bit of rip out of this pitch. And we haven't seen, well, this is a new pitch today, but we haven't seen a lot from pitch 5. You can just see there on the right-hand side of your screen.
Sweep again. That's a lot better from Fletcher. Riaz looking to try and send it fine, but they won't come back for the 2. Anything to be said for Fletcher bowling wider of the crease?
Yeah, it's a good question, and maybe she's just trying to start her line on the off stump so that it's with the drift.
She just looks quite tight. You can see her footmarks from because it's a little bit wet. Obviously, she's running wet spikes onto that, and you can see she's quite tight to the stumps for a leg spinner, especially when the drift is across. Definitely the right line to land for a left-hander. Good hands. No, well, mid-wicket is quite straight there in the ring, so a single to close it out. Scoring-wise, it was a good one for Pakistan, 11 from it, but they've lost a wicket in there as well. 7 overs gone, 51 for 4. Well, both Pakistan batters looking pretty good, actually, body language-wise. It's a last chance saloon for them to get some points, and well, not to get some points, obviously, the game tomorrow, but to try and put their hand up to win this tri-series. Ireland and West Indies on 4 points each. Pakistan currently on 0.
It's been a bit of a tough tournament so far for Pakistan. We've mentioned with their bowling, pace bowlers haven't really been able to perform as well as they would have liked.
Ramarak continues.
And with that, it just means that there's a lot more pressure on the batters in order to try and chase down the bigger totals, not really making too many inroads in early in that power play. Munib Ali's probably the only one that had sort of got one of the big scores so far for Pakistan in the tournament so far. And she picked up a 65 off 41.
They've had a couple of good contributions. Sarah Jabin in particular, who's already back in the clubhouse, unfortunately, but she made it 230s, and Iram Javed, who's not playing today, made a 24. So they've had those contributory kind of totals, and it's interesting when you look at is it the IPL, they count how many 30s you get, they don't count your 50s. In T20 cricket, a 30 is good as long as it's at a decent lick. They just haven't had enough of them in the same game. Nicely flighted, just a little bit of dip. Almost does for Ramin. It looked like she was going to lift it into the hands of mid-off, who's no doubt waiting. I was interested to see how West Indies dealt with the swirling wind, because it was Pakistan who were fielding on the right-hand side of your screen as you're looking at it, where the wind would be taking the ball towards you. Bump ball.
Absolutely bounced into the ground. Good try, Ramarak. I was going to say, though, that that's the short side of the field, and the wind coming across it, she's bowling into the breeze at the moment. Good thing for her, that assists with that drop and dip. Bad thing for her, it also assists with it sailing back over her head.
Yeah, there were so many catches that the coaches were hitting that were sailing over the hoarding on the sideline and nearly hitting spectators. Nicely gapped. Brilliant from Ramin. Uses the feet and whips the hands through to beat extra cover. A beautiful looking drive through the offside, just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, batted 5 in the first game against the West Indies. Picked up 18 off 16 and then unfortunately got run out. She wasn't too happy about that, so I'm pretty sure she wants to spend some time out in the middle now. And a shot like that was full of class. They just do a slight adjustment of the field.
A square in. And then long off goes back. It's Chanel Henry being very slow about actually getting to the boundary there. And looking to find the gap into cover to close out that over with a single, but doesn't manage it. 6 from it. And after 8, Pakistan 57 for 4. So at the moment, things looking okay for Pakistan. Riaz 6 from 3, Ramin 11 from 12. When I say looking okay in terms of this partnership, the wickets column still not looking great, but if they can stay together for another 4 or 5 overs, they do have their captain who's playing, thank goodness. We were worried about her, weren't we, the other day when we saw her walking off. It looked very painful. Anyone out there who's rolled on the ball, especially at speed like she was when she stopped a boundary the other day, will know the pain she was feeling, but she seems to have recovered well. Fletcher to bowl her second, a little expensive in the first. Can she make more use of this drift and dip? Maybe just finishing off her action ever so slightly more.
I just think if she can get anything out of this wicket. Pakistan in a pretty similar position they were to West Indies last time. 52 for 4 they were, and managed to get to 174.
Well, we've mentioned, haven't we, about Fatma Sana Khan maybe moving up the order. Aliyah Riaz preferred at number 6 as well. She would have been a top order batter for a very long time. So is it a case, do you think, that they feel like they've got the right players for 6 and 7, and now it's about finding the the top order players that can fit in because they're comfortable with how they're finishing innings. Strong sweep. Won't get between them for 4. Shouldn't. She almost ran in past that there, Aaliyah Lane. Made a bit of a meal of it, but manages to keep it to 2.
Yeah, it's a good discussion about their order. They certainly haven't got it right quite yet. They definitely like Fatma Khan at number 8. She did come up to number 5 and still did very well. But I think it might also be situational. If that top order are performing, obviously, I think there's an opportunity to put up to 5 if it's the back end of the innings still.
Well, the quicker ball goes all wrong from Fletcher. Always good to try it out, but maybe the best outcome that it was a wide, and because it was pretty short, could have gone the distance. Strongly cut away. Work to do in the deep. Does well though. I think that's Shemaine Campbell in the deep out there. Yeah, the coach who is more, it was in hockey, but I think the story stands for cricket, who he said when you're coaching a team and you're able to select players based on position rather than just your best 11, you know you're getting somewhere. So you look at, say, Australia, who are favourites going into this World Cup, they're picking the best players to bat at number 7, the best player for number 8, not the best 11 cricketers that they have.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think that sort of bodes a little bit for the West Indies as well. I think they've got a fairly consistent top order, pretty comfortable with how they're going with the bat at the moment, and just working on that sort of middle to lower order that can probably increase. They're very good at the death. Middle overs getting much better, particularly Julia Glasgow. She's been very, very good for them in the middle order, and I think they've nearly got it right.
Nice little turn around the corner. Race is on to see who's going to win. Deandra Dotton gets there first, but it's another couple of runs. Clever batting from these two, and after 9, Pakistan 64 for 4. I guess when you look back at kind of the earlier years of T20 international cricket, you saw a lot of all-rounders, and we still have a lot of all-rounders, but your all-rounders are generally batting in the middle. Rather than, say, a Hayley Matthews who's opening the bowling and opening the batting. Now she's gone down the pecking order in the bowling. And I always think the less all-rounders and your all-rounders not being as prominent in both skills shows the team is getting stronger.
Yeah, you had that with Susie Bates and Sophie Devine as well, and Amelia Kerr now in the New Zealand team. So I tend to agree. Just generally where they're playing those all-rounders, mind you, Australia does have like about 9.
Yeah.
So it can be difficult to know where to put them, but generally I think all the teams are benefiting definitely from these tri-series, and there's plenty of them going along around the world at the moment. Scotland experiencing a little bit of similar weather.
Yeah, it's generally worse over there, I think, whenever there's weather around. A couple of degrees even cooler. Munasar into the attack. Starts short. And she suffered with her length in the last game, and she starts as she finished that one. A boundary off the first.
Yeah, Munasar, under-19 captain a couple of years ago in the World Cup. So a good thinker of the game. Just didn't get this quite right. Bowling into that stiff breeze, she's going to have to really make sure she gets through her action.
It's a tough assignment. If you're not used to cold weather, the fingers are probably a little bit cold for Munasar. Again, short. And has she bought another wicket here? No, just drops safe. The cricket was definitely not the winner there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if keeper Mangru was put off there. Oh, the short third coming running in, but either way it managed to split both of the fielders. Did see Mangru. She's very, very energetic, and it's the first time I've ever seen a keeper run all the way to about 3/4 to the boundary. I've never seen a keeper that committed to chase the ball in front of the wicket, not even behind the wicket.
You've not played enough club cricket, where we've a few people whose legs aren't moving quickly enough. Straight to Kiana Joseph in 45. She seems to always be in the right place. Well, nearly always. Kiana Joseph reads the batters and gets the angles right, or is lucky. I'm not sure which, but she fields a lot in 45 there for West Indies. Well, just as I say, commentator's curse. It's beaten Kiana Joseph on her right-hand side. And on this occasion, Riaz very clearly wanted to go fine of the fielder and helps herself to 4.
Yeah, just got the lines all wrong here. Coming around the wicket, it can be quite tough. There's a little bit of movement in the wicket as well. If you just get that line a little wrong, you're going to pay the price. It's very difficult to stop too much at 45 there unless it comes straight to you.
I think this is harsh from West Indies. They switch their fielders. Afi Fletcher goes into 45. Kiana Joseph preferred in mid-wicket. I don't think there's really a fielder on the pitch who would have stopped that, do you?
No, I think they're probably putting Kiana Joseph into the key position there at mid-wicket now. It's where the ball's going to go now. Just moving her a little straighter. Just pop this straight to her.
Much better. Manages to push the ball across Riaz. She is strong in point, but she likes a lot of pace on the ball, so I think it could be a catching opportunity in covers. No one out on the offside apart from long off. So the opportunity is there, but Riaz needs the power on the shot to send it through the covers. But she opts to go leg side. An interesting choice.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably why they're able to get away with the spinner coming over around the wicket, go across the right hander, knowing that she's not really going to take it through that offside square.
Well, a good finish from Munasar after a couple of boundaries early in the over, but it was an expensive one. Halfway through the innings, Pakistan, well, they're rebuilding with Riaz and Ramin, both in their teens, and 74 for 4, looking a lot better than they were a couple of overs ago. The team's taking a drink. We'll do the same and join us again for the resumption of play very shortly. So a refreshing drink for both sides. Maybe a warm drink.
Possibly.
It's breezy. You arrived, Julia Price, to lovely warm weather or not. You tend to bring the good weather with you.
Well, you're welcome. But, yeah, it was short-lived.
But you know what? I feel aggrieved because it's exam season here in Ireland, and there's... it's well known that as soon as the leaving certificate starts, the sun comes out as if it's to torture those school leavers, and we haven't had that today. So we're all feeling hard done by. Kiana Joseph into the attack to start the second half of the innings. She's kind of been the find. I think I mentioned it the other day for West Indies with the ball. They've known, obviously, that she's a good left-arm spinner, but perhaps finding things easier in these conditions.
Yeah, she's been very, very good. I was curious to know when they were going to use it today. Just takes away, doesn't get a lot of spin, takes away the space from the right-handers, keeps the stumps in play majority of the time. And she's also picked up 4 wickets. at 9.75, just only at 4.87. So she's been very economical as well as picking up a few wickets. Ava Canning from Ireland obviously leading the wicket taking so far.
Strong sweep shot. Won't beat the fielders in the deep, but they come back for the second. And I think it's good news for Pakistan that that throw went to the bowler's end, because Leah Riaz, well, she didn't turn very quickly there at all. Something that she needs to maybe work on, have a think about going into the World Cup, because she'll get targeted very quickly.
Yeah, I thought there might be a little slippery out there because of the conditions, but the ground staff have done an incredible job to get this game on.
I think what surprised me the most is we haven't seen a rag or anything like that. No one's having to dry the ball, even when it goes out to the boundary. There's a great drainage out here in Clontarf Cricket Club, north side of Dublin. With a sweep shot, and she manages to get it fine. Takes the risk by going inside the line, but gets the hands around to help it down towards the Clontarf youth there, who are doing a great job at the side screens. Another 4.
And he got this nice and fine. Took it really off middle and leg. There's no way Affie Fletcher was able to stop that at 45. Looking for that top edge. We've had a few dismissals so far with a little bit of extra kick and hold in this wicket.
There's that cut shot that Leah Riaz does enjoy so much, but gap closed up. So no wicket to start off the spell for Joseph. She's started pretty well though. Just 7 from the over, 11 gone, 81 for 4, Pakistan. And these two, Riaz and Ramin, looking like they're enjoying themselves out here in the middle.
Well, it's a new pitch as well today. We've played all 4 on pitch 5 or on pitch 7 today. And it actually, I thought it might have held a little more because of the rain, but I think they've covered it so well in the lead up to it. They know exactly when the rain's coming, unlike me, who got trapped in the rain this morning going for a coffee. And I think that it's actually quite a nice pitch, and we could see quite a big score on here if they keep playing sensibly.
Munasar over the wicket to the right-hander. Better length, much better length. Straight to Joseph, put in the exact right position.
And I think as well with the missing 3 key batters from the West Indian team, it's an opportunity for Pakistan to maybe snare a little sneaky win here.
So good down the ground, but doesn't quite catch all of this, Leah Riaz, inside half of the bat. Gets it straight enough that it's there was no danger there for the 2 fielders out in the deep.
Well, the shot was on. It's a shorter boundary. You've got the breeze behind you, and it's one of her favoured shots as well from Riaz. Just didn't quite get the timing absolutely right.
Really leaned back in the shot, trying to get that extra power, and in doing that, kind of fell off the shot. Much better length and good drift straight through. Ramin plays all around that as Pakistan's best partnership today gets broken by the youngster Munasar.
Well, probably not Ramin's best shot that she's played, and she'd been looking good, and I think just wanted to start to put the accelerator down, but Munasar is absolutely pumped having picked up that. She's high-tenning her teammates in the tent as well. You see the back of Ramin out for 17. That's equalled her top score this tournament. Hasn't quite consolidated that spot at number 5, I wouldn't think, and just when Pakistan needed her to go on, she plays a little bit of a rash shot and loses her wicket to a pretty decent ball from Munasar.
Disappointing shot option from Shamim. She'd seen Riaz go down the ground the previous delivery and just didn't quite move the feet enough. It was a little shuffle. The first step never appeared, and when she wasn't there, rather than just pushing at the ball down the ground, she had a big hoik to the leg side, and I think that's what's really undone her.
Okay, just the bowler being able to bowl into the breeze as well. It can just mess with your head a little bit with regards to the flight and the length, because it can dip pretty drastically.
Yeah, spot on, Julia Price. And what we Pakistan supporters wouldn't do to see a lovely Fatma Sana Khan cameo here. More than a cameo, she's got plenty of time if she can stay out there for a while. Watchful to start.
They were promoted up to 5 in the previous game, out for 21. Was caught behind. A little bit of a rash shot. In the previous game, 27 off 14, so she's going along pretty well in 2026.
Yeah, nicely swept away, but the field well set. Ramarak comes around to keep it to 1. I think for Pakistan in this series, they'll actually be kind of pleased with their batting. Maybe not their top order batting, but when you look at the totals, they've got 174 and 177. They take that across the World Cup. They'll be surprised that their bowling hasn't done better, because that's always traditionally been their strength. It's that they've been able to keep teams to, you know, maybe below par totals, and they haven't been able to chase it. Looks to go fine, Riaz, to beat Afi Fletcher, and kind of a fine on the ring, doesn't manage it. So, end of another over, 12 gone. Pakistan 83 for 5. A good over from Munasar, gets the wicket that West Indies were looking for. And plenty of starts there for Pakistan. Nobody yet able to go on and make a decent score for everyone else to bat. Around 17 each for Ramin and Zafar. 10 as well for Gul. But West Indies able to strike with consistency, and as always, it does stem the flow of runs when you can consistently take wickets. What they need, Pakistan, is a partnership in this middle to lower order, and they're hoping Riaz and Fatma Sana Khan can do just that. Joseph with her second over. Wide of the crease. I think she just has subtle variations, doesn't she? Doesn't try to overcomplicate things. Slight changes. There's only 1 or 2 that she actually tries to turn. She only takes the pace off on that occasion. There it is.
She's actually got a really nice high arm action for a left arm. Reminds me of a bowler back home, Sam Bates. Been around the domestic system for a long time and close to the most number of wickets in domestic cricket.
That one a bit quicker, and Sana Khan will get that through the offside. Yeah, to fully agree, I was thinking that she's very tall, because she's a decently tall person, but actually her arm action, and that's why she's quite tough for, especially the shorter Pakistani batters, to judge the flight. But Sam Bates is a great call. Sam Bates can bat like like Joseph. She might get into the Australian team. Beats the extra cover fielder, but good anticipation in the deep. Campbell doing the tidying up.
And I think because of that extra height, and we found this at home with Sam Bates as well, little tiny bit of turn, but it's more the extra bounce you get because of that height and the high arm action. It makes it difficult to sit on the front foot, and that is a strength definitely of Pakistan.
Oh dear, miscommunication. Zayda James gets her feet around with thrown. If it had been better, it could have been curtains.
And again, just that, not quite the length that Riaz was looking for to be able to work it onto the front foot. Tried to use her feet to get down there, but just still couldn't get it. And the timing absolutely spot on.
Oh, there's the foot movement, can't get it over the fielder, and the pressure breaks the partnership. Chanel Henry gets in position nice and early, and it was hit powerfully, but straight to the West Indies stand-in skipper for today. Couple of wickets back to back, and now Pakistan under the pump once more.
Oh, it's pretty much exactly what we were just discussing with regards to the extra bounce and the difficulty of being able to get to the ball with your feet. And Leah Riaz has come down but didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball and just ends up hitting it on the up. Straight to mid-off. Nice easy catch for Chanel Henry, but excellent bowling here from Kiana Joseph. Keeps it nice and simple. Has some nice shape. Gets to a nice length and just doesn't get under it enough to be able to clear the head of Chanel Henry. And excellent field positions as well to really be aggressive and take on and say to the Pakistani batters, well, if you want to hit over our head into the breeze, go for your life. And that's resulted in the 6th wicket for Pakistan, and they're just struggling a little. 86 for 6. Munastar continues. Nearly puts this straight down the throat of deep mid-wicket. They get through for the single. That was Fatma Khan. Just little shoe repairs, I think. I know, just doing the shoelaces up. Normally you'd ask the wicketkeeper to do that, wouldn't you, Dwayne?
How often do we get asked? And then you have to take off your gloves, and you have to take your inners off as well sometimes.
Absolutely, surely it's more convenient for them.
So when Fatima at the wicket now. Somebody who's been batting nicely recently, but hasn't had too many chances. This is a real opportunity. Fended away of Munisar, 22-year-old Guyanese bowler. Proper all-rounder, despite the fact that she's probably more renowned for her bowling. She actually captained West Indies in South Africa a few years ago at the inaugural Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup, where West Indies began with that 7-wicket win over Ireland, or 7-run win over Ireland.
Well, first opportunity for her in this tri-series. Munasar just hasn't quite got the lines right today. Bowling into that breeze wouldn't be easy. And a young player still getting the off-spin absolutely spot on, and just has been a little leg side. Hasn't been completely punished though.
Worked away firmly by Fatima Khan, Pakistan captain. Yeah, she has a. You were talking about what a good 2026 she has. I mean, she's a strike rate of 200 in 2026.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that.
This one is lofted and not much of a chance at the crease for Ayman Fatima. Right down the throat of long on.
And it was a little agricultural, wasn't it? Just wasn't quite the shot. Thought she might have got more of it. But in the end, Chanel Henry makes it look pretty easy, puts herself in a really good position. And Chanel Henry's going to say, this is a pretty easy game being captain, isn't she? The first game for West Indies with Hayley Matthews being out today. And another wicket for Ashmini Munasar. As we see the end of Ayman Fatima. Let's have another look at this dismissal. It's nice and high in the action. A little awkward, but at the same time, well read there straight away from Chanel Henry. West Indies well on top at the moment.
Certainly are. 89 for 7 as things stand for Pakistan. Into the 14th over. Shot was on down the ground with the wind behind. The wind is up, not quite as up as it was earlier in the game, but still significant enough to warrant the shot if you get enough of it. Tuba Hassan makes her way to the crease now. Very much leg break bowler, but she can bat a bit. Proved that in that 37-run, 8th wicket stand with Fatima Sana against England a couple of years ago. I think she made 28 on the day. Alfie Fletcher bowling to Sana.
He's got good control, Alfie Fletcher. Not a huge amount of turn. Just a little bit there and a little shuffle across the crease as well from Sana. Just trying to access the leg side boundary in front of us. We're at a very, very straight cow, or a wide mid-on, long on, very open.
Ooh, carved away, hit very firmly at Zaida James. Ricochets off her body, and Pakistan are able to scramble through for a single. So Fatima Sana gets off strike and Fatma Hassan will have her first look at West Indies bowlers. Afi Fletcher, very experienced bowler. One of only 3 West Indies women to take 100 T20 international wickets. First was Anisa Mohammed, who used to bowl a lot in tandem with Karishma Ramarak, and Hayley Matthews the other. Tossed up a little, worked away.
Well, there's plenty of space on that leg side, so it's if you do just manage to drift in there, they're quite happy to give away the one. A lot of protection, as you'd expect, on the offside to a leg spinner. Tuba Hassan gets off the mark. 42 matches for her. And there's plenty of space here. They should come back for the second. Not a lot of commitment from the boundary riders. I think they're enjoying to see the wicketkeeper as she gives it the teapot. Why am I out here on the circle?
I was just about to say it's the the double teapot from Mandy Mangru, who's fielded. She's almost run to our corner to field that, with Aliyah Lane striding in off the rope with not much intent, it seemed. So 4 runs of the last 3 deliveries of this Afi Fletcher over. Fuller again and squeezed into the leg side. This time, Aliyah Lane a little more enthusiastic about getting to the ball. End of 15. Pakistan have 5 overs to bat. They're 94 for 7. Aliyah Lane's sparked to life by Mangru's reaction the previous delivery.
Well, Mangru wasn't even moving from the stumps that time. She was making sure that someone else would field this as we have a look at those bowling figures today. And they've really shared it around a fair bit. Ramarak not picking up any wickets, nor is Elaine, just with 1 over to her name in the power play. Everyone else managed to pick up a few wickets today.
I was just about to remark, she only went 4 and over in the power play, which is a pretty good effort from Aliyah Lane. Munisar and Joseph also going in under a run of ball. Munisar 2 for 15, the pick of the bowlers with their economy rate, although Chanel Henry's also picked up 2 for 13, but from 2 overs, slightly more expensive. Did bowl in the power play as she and James opened the bowling.
Aliyah Lane's only bowled 2 overs this tournament. 1 today and 1 in the first
yes.
game.
And went for 9
She's
the
a
first
one over specialist. Both of those in the power play. I think if you can bowl in the power play, it's not, I'm just putting this theory out there. If you can bowl in the power play, you'd think you should be able to bowl at death. Keeping it nice and tight, knowing the areas you want to get hit to.
So Karishma Ramarak back into the attack. For a 3rd over here.
And I really prefer her bowling over the wicket. I just feel that her style with not turning it enough by coming around the wicket doesn't straighten enough, and it just exposes her on that offside with the 4-5 field.
Underside of the bat, it'll still be worked away, and there is a single to be had.
And she can bowl stump to stump then, and a shot like that, it keeps the stumps in play. If they miss or get hit on the pads, LBW or bowled. So I feel it's a better option for her. Can set the field nice and straight, and they have to expose the stumps if they want to hit it through the offside.
Well, this one is skied, but it's going to land short of the fielder coming off the rope. What do the batters around Fatma Hassan need to do in the remaining overs? Because they've effectively got 4.5 overs to bat. And they can add some significant runs if Fatma Hassan is allowed a little bit of strike and indeed to play a natural game. But she needs support from the opposite end.
And that's pretty smart from Ramarak there, just pulling out on that one when she sees the movement from Fatma Hassan. But what they actually do need to do is, I mean, Tuba Hassan averages 7 with the bat. So clearly, great if she can find boundaries, but ideally it's to get Fatma Hassan Khan on strike. She's just got such quick hands and generates a lot of power. She's not a tall player. a lot of the best batters in the world are a little bit shorter of stature, and to me, she's got such potential to continue to improve as an all-rounder.
Ooh, this one catches a little bit of an edge. Racing away, there's a chase to the rope, and it's not going to be one. And this time, Muffy Fletcher has a little giggle after she falls over the boundary rope with the ball, having crossed the rope as well. Another 4 this time to the Pakistan captain, and the 100 up for Pakistan.
Well, you've got to have a bit of luck sometimes as well, don't you? She was looking for that downfield, going with the breeze, shorter boundary, straight. Catches a thick edge. Not much wrong there from Ramarak, but Muffy Fletcher did her best, ran around it. Probably should have gone with the left hand. That results in a boundary. Just changing that field now, which I also like bringing in Counter Joseph. She's been the specialist fielder today, the utility, just fielding everywhere. She's now in at short third.
Anything near her left, though, she's so quick on it. So quick on it. Whips the ball in. Ramarak, final delivery of her third over. And just the one. So Ramarak 0 for 20 from her 3 so far. Pakistan 101 for 7. That little release with the edge that went to the boundary for Pakistan brings the 100 up, and I suppose mentally it switches you onto a slightly different level, despite the fact that it's relatively dire. But there've been a lot of dot balls today, Julia.
Sure, have 46 dot balls, which is unusual because it's been quite a quick field. There's plenty of space out there, lots of pockets, and they just haven't really been able to settle. It takes a little bit of time to get on this pitch, even though, again, as we've spoken about, this is a new pitch today, but it's playing very similarly to pitch number 5.
Well, changing bowling here, Deandra Dotton, who still has the best bowling figures for any player in an ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Her 5 for 5 in 2018 against Bangladesh. I think they dismissed Bangladesh for the lowest score ever in the tournament as well, 46. As West Indies claimed a significant victory that day. And she's the only bowler with a strike rate of under 12 in the Women's T20 World Cup. And this one is hit very firmly. Big chase on for Glasgow. Covers a lot of ground quickly and whips it in towards the bowler.
Well, this is her only third over so far in the try series, so they haven't really looked at using her batting at the top of the order, whether it's just a focus on, you know, let's use her as a batter now with who can bowl the odd over here and there.
Just a little too straight on leg stump and pulled away just for the single. Alea Lane up there on the rope, collects it and whips it in towards Mungru. Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see they used 9 bowlers in the first game against Ireland, did West Indies, and Deandra Dotton was the only player who didn't bowl. Oh, that's going to run away, but there's a serious element of fortune there for Tubasan. And that's her first boundary of this innings.
Well, another change up there from Dotton. She's recognising this pitch does like to take a little bit of off-pace bowling. The previous ball was a slow ball. This one was her leg cutter. Just comes out the front of the hand, and it cut perfectly. Was not picked by Tubasan. But I think Pakistan will gladly take that boundary.
Scrabble through and not too far away. It was a risky run, and Fatima Sana wanted to get back on strike, but only 2 balls to go in the over.
Oh, that's 2 boundary opportunities, isn't it?
True, true.
That's the way she's thinking at the moment, I feel. When you're going at 200 strike rate, obviously not going at that quite at the moment, but the potential to just accelerate, she's the one that really needs to do it here.
Dotton charges in. This one is struck firmly. It's between a couple of fielders. Chanel Henry coming to around, so too with Shemaine Campbell, who eventually does the fielding. And I can tell you as well that while the ball came down sharply, so too is the rain now. We've been spared much of the moisture since play got underway, and indeed Johnny Kennedy says to Deandra Dotton, "I'll have the ball." With the score on Nelson for 7 for Pakistan, we are going to have a temporary suspension in play. The ground staff out double quick time.
Well, they're well rehearsed in getting those covers out there, particularly today.
So the players making their way from the field. As things stand, Tuba Hassan, 7 of 4. Fatima Sana, run a ball 21 as well. Pakistan, though, losing regular wickets. They've still got a little over 3 overs remaining in this innings, Julia, but it's been arguably their toughest batting outing of this tournament so far. And they've been 170 odd in each of their 2 previous matches. This one, it's been a bit of a scramble for him to even get to 100 after they were 20 odd for 3 and 40 odd for 4.
Yeah, 37-run partnership, the most that they've got today. Otherwise, it's all in teens and single figures. So it's just those partnerships. Just to me, it looks like they're really trying to force the issue a little bit, not having that patience on this wicket. It's not reading the situation, and every pitch is going to be different, and particularly around England. Lots of different areas around England, and it's the teams that can adapt the best, I think, are the ones that are going to be successful. At the moment, looks like Pakistan to me are trying to play a certain style of game, but it's just not quite suited to going as hard as possible from ball 1.
So West Indies and Pakistan, they've both got some warm-up matches before the start officially of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. That'll get underway in England in a little over a week. Pakistan in Group 1 of the tournament. They begin against their arch rivals India on the 14th of June, so just 11 days away now. That's in Birmingham, I think it is. And then they face title contenders South Africa 3 days later. They've got Bangladesh and Southampton, then they've got Australia at Headingley, and then conclude the group stages against Netherlands, the debutants in Bristol. As West Indies find themselves in Group 2. And they're a side that already had plenty of warm-up action this year. Sri Lanka, Australia series, plus now West Indies here in Ireland, playing Pakistan and the hosts. But for now, the rain has interrupted play. And that means Pakistan are 3.1 overs away from concluding their innings. 111 for 7 is where we are here at Castle Avenue in Clontarf, with West Indies having won the toss and elected to bowl. They had Pakistan in trouble for much of the innings. Pakistan, though, 111 for 7. That's where we'll leave it. We'll be back with news, hopefully, with the innings resuming shortly.
match officials have unfortunately had to abandon this game between Pakistan and the West Indies. Unfortunately, no result today in Game 5 of this Avara Tri-Series. We'll try again tomorrow for Game 6, of course, the final game in this Avara Tri-Series between Ireland and Pakistan. Ireland can win the tournament tomorrow with a victory. So if you're around at Clontarf tomorrow, why not come down for a 4 p.m. start tomorrow and see the girls play their final game before they head off to the World Cup in England. Tomorrow's start is 4 p.m. for the final game of the Avara sponsored Tri-Series. Thank you for your attendance today and good night.
The ground staff worked valiantly here to see West Indies take on Pakistan in the Tri-Series. West Indies were well on top, 111 for 7 against Pakistan. The rain came and it came thick and fast and far too long. The game was West Indies in front of 5 points. They're at the top of the table. One more game remains. That's tomorrow, and that's between Ireland and Pakistan. Can they see it with a victory, or Pakistan ruined their final? Well, I say the date of the game.
This body, it's only come for one day, man.
Come on.
The ground staff worked very hard to get a game on.
Unfortunate news from Castle Avenue in Clontarf is that the match has been abandoned. So no result then between Pakistan and West Indies in match number 5 of the Avara Women's T20 International Series. It was always a little touch and go when the weather this morning was very, very wet. Certainly by the time we got here, the match was delayed by 70 minutes as a result. The Pakistan innings took to the field at 5:10 local time after a 4 p.m. set start. Disappointingly, only just beyond the halfway mark in the Pakistan innings. They were 111 for 7 in a spot of bother, but I can confirm that after the most recent rain delay, the players will not return to the field. The two captains just a moment ago, Chanel Henry and Fatima Sana, having shaken hands. The match has been abandoned, so it is a no result. Points then are shared, which means Ireland will have an opportunity to win the Tri-Series if they can beat Pakistan in the final match of the Tri-Series. That'll be tomorrow. Do join us then, local time 4 p.m. start.